Hello there and welcome along to Hive Live Extra, your place for exclusive reaction and analysis following Watford's 1-1 draw here at Vicarage Road in front of 2,000 more lucky fans. We've tonight faced Brentford. Here with me in the studio to talk through the twists and turns of the game, I'm joined by the former Watford and Brentford goalkeeper Richard Lee, and once more the face, the creator of Football Manager and lifelong Watford fan, Miles Jacobson. Rich, we'll come to you first as you've got history with both these clubs, and Miles, I think we'll get more of an impassioned fan's view from you. But as a neutral, I suppose, in this situation, Rich, do you think all in all, both halves considered, that's probably a fair result?
Yeah, I'd say in the end, I think probably fair. For me, Brentford, much the better team in the first half. I thought the way in which they play, they were a lot more dynamic. I thought they created more chances. Probably should have been certainly one, if not two up at the break. But then I did think there was a shift second half. Watford came out certainly better second half. The sending off, I think once that happens, then of course Watford 1-0 up, Brentford down to 10 men. At that point, you know, I'm sure that Watford would have fancied themselves to go on and pick up all 3 points. So in the end, they're going to be very disappointed. So yeah, I think all in all, probably a fair result.
Yeah, I think that's where the disappointment comes from, doesn't it, Miles? Thinking we had, I think, half an hour there against 10 men. But all things considered, how satisfied are you with 1 point?
I'm not satisfied with 1 point. So, look, Brentford will be happy with going back with a point because they were down to 10 men. And given how bad we were in the first half, we shouldn't be that unhappy about getting a point. But for me, this season is about getting promoted back into the Premier League, and we're not going to get promoted back into the Premier League if we have first half performances like that, and if we can't win a game against one of our rivals when they're down to 10 men. We had our chances, which is more than we could say at half time, where we'd had our chance. I think we were lucky with the penalty. I think there's a hint of offside there. I think that the Brentford players shouldn't have been sent off because the rule is it's a yellow card for giving away a penalty, and he wasn't shown 2 yellows. I think we were unlucky with the Cabba penalty, but the rules are the rules, and we had our chances to win it at the end. The positive, because we tried to be positive here, is that the shackles came off a bit in the second half, even before Pinnock got sent off. The shackles came off a bit, and we did see some more creativity, and that was really, really good to see. I think Ngakia had a really good game. Troost-Ekong had a solid game for us as well. But if we're going to go up automatically, those are the kinds of situations where we need to win.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about individual scenarios and instances in that game shortly, but for now, let's head pitchside to get some more reaction. Jeremy, thanks for joining us pitchside here at Vicarage Road. Listen, it was a much improved second half, wasn't it? But I'm sure there's a little bit of a tinge of disappointment there that against 10 men, you weren't able to get the job done.
Yeah, of course, it's disappointing to not get all the 3 points today. Obviously, we know as a team in the first half wasn't good enough at all. Our standards, we should be doing better than that. But in the second half, we picked it up, and I felt we really deserved the win at the end, but unfortunately, we didn't get it.
A few incidents that I wouldn't mind getting your opinion on. Firstly, your opinion of the penalty given against us. I don't know if you've had time to see any replays or what the feeling was on the pitch at the time.
I haven't seen the replay, but at the time, I felt like Capoue did what he could really. So I'm not sure 100%. I need to see the replay, but he did what he could, tried to block it, but unfortunately, it might have hit the arm. So the referee will obviously give that straight away, as that's all he saw.
Yeah, it was a tough one to take. Saying that, you nearly went on and got all 3 points. Paritza with the ball in the back of the net. But it was flagged offside. Again, I don't know if you've seen a replay. We can tell you that here in the studio, as far as we're concerned, he wasn't offside. Is that the impression that you got on the pitch? Was it quite difficult to see off that last 5 minutes, you know, knowing that really the 3 points could have been yours?
Yeah, Paritza showed me after the game, of course, in the changing room. He showed me the the goal that he scored, that they flagged offside, and he was onside actually. So that's annoying, as we actually was building momentum, and then he just scored that. I also thought it was a goal live, so we're disappointed with that as well.
Yeah, again, tough to take, but we move. So the bigger picture, listen, here in the studio, we've been singing your praises today. Our guest, Miles Jacobson, and the former Watford goalkeeper, Richard Lee. We've been really, really impressed with what you've done so far this season. But you tell us, how do you assess your start here at Watford?
I think so far I'm doing all right. Obviously, I think I could be better myself. Like, for example, today, there was one chance in particular I could have shot, but passed it. But we move, of course, like we said. So, yeah, that's what I'll say, really.
And I'm sure it's been a bit of an extraordinary experience for you. First of all, having no fans in here, then adapting to having fans inside the stadium, and now it's gone the other way again. It's a lot for you to take on, isn't it? How have you found that?
I find it quite annoying, to be fair, because we want the fans here. The fans give us a different type of energy on the pitch, and that's the energy that we need, really. So it's annoying playing without fans, but we have to do it. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, just to wrap up then, you know, that would have been your last performance today for the foreseeable future with fans here in the stadium. So just how much of an impact, of a difference have they made on you as a side, and how much are you looking forward to having them back?
Yeah, they made a big impact to me, because on the pitch you can even see it. We're playing with much more intensity, I think. But as we said before, they're gone for now. So we just got to pray for the best and hope they come back soon.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there. Listen, well done tonight. We look forward to seeing you again on Saturday.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's safe to say there are a number of controversial incidents in this game. So with that, let's drill down into them now. First things first, the penalty given to Watford. I think we're all agreed it was a penalty for Watford, but Miles, you think it was a bit harsh on Ethan Pinnock, shouldn't have been sent off?
As far as I understand it, there is a rule that's been brought in called double jeopardy. That means if you give away a penalty, you don't get sent off. I think you still can be if it was dangerous play or something like that. But I'm still not sure if it was a pen. I think Sarr was offside, possibly marginally. I need to see it again a few times. We don't get the beauty of replays when we're at the game, but we get to watch live football instead, which is much better. But I think that Brentford will appeal that and will end up winning the appeal, because he should have got a yellow.
Yeah.
It wasn't a second yellow offence, and it didn't look like dangerous play to me. It was a foul in the box, so pen fine, but the fact that left them with 10 players for the rest of the game, I think they will feel a bit hard done by on that.
Yeah, ultimately it didn't cost them, but of course at that stage they didn't have the benefit of hindsight. Let's go the other end then, when Brentford were awarded a penalty. Think that was a little bit unfair on Cabasele, or again, is it the rules are the rules? What do you think, Rich?
I think it was. I mean, for a start, I think that in general there's just too many penalties being given now. Like, I don't know, maybe this makes me sound old, but I go back to seasons gone by and there'd be 2 or 3 penalties given against you a season, and now it feels like every game we're watching there's penalties being given. So that's something.
Why do you think that is? Is that rule changing? Are people being more aware, behaving differently in the box?
I think rule changes, which then I think what it does is it leads to teams actually 4 penalties. I think, you know, look, and actually, you know, sort of, I'm going to jump around a bit here, but when I'm watching Watford, and because they are quite defensively minded, it's always going to be tough for them to play the style they play and be that attractive to watch, because it seems like they contain teams. They've kept a lot of clean sheets this season, which I'd love to play for them as a goalkeeper, because you're going to keep a lot of clean sheets the way they play. I don't think it's going to be particularly entertaining moving forward, but you know, they are picking up a lot of penalties. They are scraping results. But no, in this particular one, look, the penalty given against them, it is a penalty according to the rules. I don't know what the player does differently, because I think unless you learn to jump with your hands by your side, which just isn't natural, you are going to move your hands when you jump, and from time to time it will hit you in the hand. The fact it hit him in the hand, to me, stated that the ball was going to go about 40 yards over the bar as well. It wasn't even a dangerous situation, but the rules are the rules, I guess. So it is what it is.
I think we should suggest to DJ, who's the wonderful kit man at Watford, putting pockets into the shorts. So the defenders, it's the only way that we're not going to give away penalties like that, because it's completely natural the way that he's jumping, trying to get some leverage. Your arms go up. It's what happens.
If anything, you could argue that he put his arms out of the way. His arms were so high. If you watch it again, I don't know where I don't know who the lad was who struck the ball, but I don't know where it was going. It was going miles over the bar. Yeah. His arms were so high. Normally, you'd be fine.
And you could see from his reaction, I think, as well, that he was like, hang on a minute, you know, that wasn't in any way intentional. Or he felt
absolutely.
He couldn't have done anything else.
You know, Chabba off the pitch is quite shy. Really, really nice guy. Doesn't say that much stuff on the pitch either. And he looked really angry. He looked incensed by that.
Yeah, speaking of feeling rather incensed, I guess the final thing to talk about incident-wise would be Peritz's goal, or no goal, we should say, as it was flagged offside. Was it offside? I mean, we've seen...
Perizza wasn't offside.
Yeah, this is it. I suppose this is where the debate's coming in, whether it was Sarr that was flagged or not. But I think from the replays we've seen, Rich, it looks as though when he put his flag up, it was at Perizza. It was only the moment that the header went in. That was the moment. So that is the one he was flagging offside, which when we've seen the angle, it certainly looked like it was on. I mean, if we were in the Premier League now, they'd have spent 7 minutes going through lots of lines on a field and we'd have known. But
can we do that with the Lego pitch?
No, look, for me, it didn't look offside. For me, it was a perfectly good goal. And that, in the end, is why I think Watford will feel aggrieved. I mean, had they won, I don't think we'd have been sat here saying that they deserved to win, certainly. But it would have been nice to pick up the 3 points. That's quite a nice idea for a feature, actually, using the micro designs on the table. Yeah, I think we can definitely work at bringing that in. Right, final thoughts then. We can dwell on all these incidents and what might have been, what should have been. But the fact is that at the time of recording, ahead of Wednesday's fixtures, the Hornets are third in the table. So Bournemouth have beaten Wycombe tonight. Norwich play tomorrow evening against Reading. So again, that'll be quite a decisive game, I suppose, when we're looking at the top six in the race for promotion. But all things considered, do you think this Watford side again should be looking at the table in the way that 90 minutes has panned out and thinking, you know what, it's okay, third, we'll take that with the way things are? Yeah, look, I think that, and I touched on this a second ago, I think the way that Watford set up, they're not suddenly going to become a free-flowing team that are winning 4s and 5s. That's not going to happen this season, but I can see them grinding out a lot of results which can get you out of the Championship. They accumulate, yeah. They do, so I don't think it's going to be one where the fans are going to fall in love with this team this season, but from what I've seen, I think there's enough there for them to continue to grind out results and be there or thereabouts. Yeah, just finally on the fans, the Miles, obviously that's the last time for the foreseeable anyway that we will have 2,000 fans here inside Vicarage Road. They might not have got the result they necessarily wanted, but I think we all agreed it was an entertaining one to bow out on, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and I'm really hopeful that there's some kind of weird reversal, and then on the 23rd it gets announced that Watford are going back to Tier 2 so that the supporters can be here on Boxing Day, because Boxing Day without being a live game, I haven't experienced one of those for a long time unless it's been moved for TV. We're in a lucky position that we're going into Boxing Day against Norwich with it being a 6-pointer at the top of the table, not down the bottom of the table. So let's be thankful for that. But you know, the fans were great today. Ben said it himself. They were pushing the players on. They got frustrated at one point. And the players reacted to that as well as reacting to the chants and the cheers in the second half. So football isn't the same without supporters in the stadium. It just isn't. The behind closed doors games, whether you're watching them at home or whether you're lucky enough to be inside those closed doors, they feel like under 23 pre-season friendlies when you're at the game. So that can't help the players on the pitch. So, you know, it's bad for the players and it's even worse for the fans. Although they do obviously get to see you for the games. That is the advantage. Hive Live is your place on a virtual Hive. So that's a good thing that more people will be watching that way. But they're going to be missed, and I'm going to miss not being here as well. Yeah, we're certainly going to miss seeing some of your faces here, certainly for the foreseeable future. But as Miles says, fingers crossed it won't be for too long.
Right, that brings us to the end of Hive Live Extra. So Rich, Miles, thanks ever so much for your time. Look forward to seeing you back here again soon, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday afternoon when the Hornets will be away at Huddersfield Town. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll have all your Watford Focus build-up from 2, a full hour of build-up, and it's our last show before Christmas, so you can expect a number of guests and lots of fun in that show. watfordfc.com/Hive Live. And remember, until we meet again here at Vicarage Road, this is your virtual home on a match day Hive Live, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Wait, why are you going fast? There's more videos here.